Hello, third, fourth, and fifth graders. This is our last library lesson for the school year. This lesson is going to be on about online safety. The last lesson was about digital etiquette. We talked about how to act and behave when we're online, and we talked a little bit about being safe online. And now I'm going to talk a little bit more about staying safe online. Okay, your learning intention is I can stay safe when using the internet. And success is that I will answer 10 questions correctly on the BrainPop online safety quiz and will demonstrate the traits of a good digital citizen each time I am online. Okay, here are some important questions. How do our decisions keep us safe? Well, when we think about it, if you have to make decisions every day about whether to do something or not to do something. And if somebody is asking you to do something that you know would put you in harm's way or put them in harm's way, something that you know is not a good thing, um, then making a decision against doing that would help keep you safe, right? And that would also hopefully help keep your friends safe. Who is responsible for your safety? Well, of course, you guys are responsible, but also your parents, your family, people that take care of you at home. When you're at school, your teachers are responsible for your safety. So it takes everybody working together to keep everybody safe. How can we stay safe online? Well, we are getting ready to talk about that. Okay, let's listen to the Brain Pop video about online safety, and then we'll take the quiz.
Must you document every meal? It's cafeteria food. No one cares. Ugh. Dear Cassie and Moby, without texting and online games, my life would be meaningless. But is it safe to go online? From Evan. Well, Evan, there are some dangers to going online, but that doesn't mean you can't stay safe. We should know. I use the internet to research our movies. And Moby is basically married to his phone. Uh-huh. So anyway, going online is sort of like going outside. It's safe as long as you remember some simple rules. Rule number 1. Online life is real life. We work online, play online, shop, talk, and share online. The things we say and do there have real effects on our lives. So before you say or do anything in the virtual world, ask yourself, would I do this in person? Remember this first tip, and the rest are pretty common sense. Rule number 2. Keep your identity a secret. Websites and apps are public spaces. You wouldn't walk around handing out your name and personal info. So you need to be just as careful online. Lots of services will ask for your name, email address, and other stuff before you can register. They also may request access to your contact list. So it's a good idea to check out their privacy policy. That's an explanation of how they plan to use any info you give them. These documents can be long and confusing, so ask a grown-up to help you separate the good sites from the bad. That's especially true with social networks. Don't sign up for any of those without your folks' permission. And if you need a screen name, pick something totally different from your real one. One that doesn't give away anything about your age, location, or gender. Sure, most of your InstaSnap friends know you from real life. There's Crackers, Green Beans, Josephine. But you also have a bunch of contacts that you've never met. Like this totally irregular, non-shady robot here. Which brings us to our next point. Rule number 3. Be extra careful with strangers. If you have any online friends, remember, all you know about them is what they tell you. That makes it easy for people to hide who they really are. It's a terrible thing to think about, but there are adults who use the internet to trick kids. No, that doesn't mean you can't have online friends. As long as you keep your personal information secret, there's nothing anyone can do to harm you. Letting your parents know about your online friends is a good idea, too. Get your parents involved if an online buddy wants to meet face to face, or even if you want to send a picture of yourself. Oh, and while we're on the subject of strangers, remember that they're not the only danger. Someone you know can use your personal information against you, too. So don't go telling your contact info to just any kid from school. Yeah, bullying hurts just as much online as in person. Rule number 4: tell somebody. If anyone makes you feel bad or uncomfortable, save any messages or screenshots that show what's happening. You can block those people and report them to the site's administrators. And remember, your parents and teachers are there to help protect you from bad stuff, so let them help. Rule number 5: protect your passwords. This one's simple. Use strong passwords containing letters, numbers, and symbols. Keep them in a safe place, and don't tell them to anybody. Not even your best friend needs to know your passwords. Rule number 6: be nice. It's up to you to help make the internet a better place. Be nice to people, and respect their feelings and beliefs. Most likely, they'll return the favor. Besides, you can get banned for being rude. You'll notice that a lot of these rules involve checking stuff out with your parents or some other adult you trust. The online world can be a tricky place for kids to navigate without a little help. Well, in your case, better check with me. Yeah, but I'm basically your guardian. Tim? Never heard of the dude.
Okay, guys, so let's take the quiz. Hopefully that kind of helped you out a little bit about online safety. Okay, let's look at number 1. To stay safe, what questions should you ask yourself before saying anything online? A, what site should I post this on? B, what is a more interesting way I can say this? C, how can I get more people to see this? Or D, would I say this in person? Let's think about it. Okay, if you picked D, then you're correct. Because remember in the video it talked about if you are willing to say it face to face to somebody, then it should be safe and okay to put online. All right, guys, number 2. Posting something on a social networking app is most like A, saying something to your family over dinner, B, handing in a homework assignment, C, talking on the phone with a friend, or D, announcing something in a public place. Well, think about how many people you can reach on a social networking app at one time. You can reach a lot of people all at the same time, right? So which one of these would you be able to reach a large amount of people very quickly? It wouldn't be at dinner or handing in an assignment or talking with a friend on the phone. But if you're saying something in a public place, there's usually a lot of people in a public place, right? So if you picked D, you are correct. 3. When is it okay to submit your personal information to an app? A, when you are promised money in return. B, when you receive a text requesting personal info. C, when your parents say it's okay. Or D, when all your friends have already done it. Well, let's look, because remember, personal info, it's very important that you don't just give it out to anybody. If you picked C, then you are correct. When your parents say it's okay. Okay, number 4. Olive is a 12-year-old girl living in Atlanta, Georgia. Which username is the safest for her? Well, let's look at A. What is not right about A? Well, let's look. It has her first name in it, right? So that would be some personal information. So that probably would not be a good idea. Let's look at B, Georgia Peach. Well, That gives away where she lives. That might not be a good idea either. What about C, Astrocat? Well, that's not really giving it away any personal information, right? It's just telling like a character type of thing that she likes. But let's look at D, Tween Girl 2006. What do you guys think? I think that would not be a good idea because Tween Girl kind of gives away about how old she is, and 2006 is probably the year she was born. So that's probably not a good idea. So if you decided on Astrocat, then you are correct. Number 5, why do you need to be more cautious with friends you meet online than with friends you meet at school? A, online it's more difficult to tell if people are who they say they are. That sounds about right because when you're face to face, you know the person is who they say they are, but don't necessarily know that online, do you? So probably A, but let's keep going. B, most people on the internet aren't as trustworthy as people in the real world. That's not fair to say. C, friendships that begin online aren't real. That's not true either. D, most online friends are probably adults pretending to be kids. Well, yes, that can happen, but I don't think it'd be fair to say most online friends. So if you decided on A, because it's more difficult to tell who if people are who they say they are, you are correct. Number 6, what's safe to do with a new online friend? A, planning an in-person meetup. No, that is not a good idea. B, chatting about favorite books and movies. That would probably be okay. That's not anything that would put you in any in harm's way or in any danger. C, exchanging phone numbers. No, that's not a good idea. D, exchanging photos of yourselves. No, that's definitely a no. So the one that's probably the most safest would be B, chatting about favorite books and movies, because that doesn't really give away any of your personal information. Number 7, if someone is cyberbullying you, what should you do? A, delete the messages and log off the site. Well, that's not a good idea because you're getting rid of your proof that somebody is cyberbullying you. B, confront the cyberbully in person. That's definitely a no because that's number 1 could be dangerous and number 2 could just make the situation worse. C, try to forget about it and move on, which some people might want to try to do that, but the problem's still going to be there. D, block the person and report it to the site's administrators. That would be the best because then if you block the person, they can't contact you anymore, and then the site's administrators will know that this person has been causing drama or problems. Number 8, which password is the strongest? Well, A, Elsa 2004. That's probably not a good idea because that gives out a name and a year that might be a birth year. B, ABC 123. Why is that not a good idea? That's kind of simple, right? Too easy. C, I am a great guy, and some symbols. That might be the best one so far because it has letters, numbers, and symbols. Like the video said, it probably should include all 3 to be a strong password. And D is just symbols. So that would not be a good idea. And plus, that'd be kind of hard to remember, wouldn't it? So if you picked C, you are correct because it has letters, numbers, and symbols. Number 9, if you're confronted by a difficult situation online and you don't know how to handle it, what should you do? A, ask an online friend for help. Well, that might not be a good idea because you may not know them that well. B, tell an adult you trust. That might be good. C, turn off your computer. No, that's not a good idea because when you go back on the computer, the problem will still be there. Or D, make an educated guess. Well, as much as you'd like to try to make decisions on your own, the best decision would probably be, especially at your age, is to tell an adult you trust. And the last one, number 10. What's the best policy for interacting online? A, respect those whose beliefs match your own. B, say whatever comes into your head. C, treat others how you want to be treated. Or D, ignore people who you don't know. Well, I think the best policy for interacting online is just like the best policy for having relationships or having friends face to face. If you picked C, you're correct. Treat others how you want to be treated, the golden rule. Okay, guys, excellent. 10 out of 10. Okay, good job. Okay, now this is something that usually fifth graders get it at the beginning of the school year when they get their Chromebooks. This is a contract that they and their parents sign, saying that they're going to use the internet and their digital device properly. Um, but I do believe this year, since it was different and all students got a device, that um, all families were responsible, students and their families were responsible for signing a contract saying that they would use the internet and their digital device properly. And the first one says, I understand and I will follow the digital citizenship guidelines for using the internet and all digital devices. I will follow the instructions of my librarian and teachers every time I use a digital device. And I understand that if I do not follow the digital citizenship guidelines or my librarian or teacher's instructions, I will lose my digital device privileges. Now, I do know school is almost over, but this probably will also pertain to next school year if everybody has still has their Chromebooks. You have to use these properly. This was given to you to do schoolwork on. So you should not be getting on this to do anything else other than something that's for school. And I do know students who have lost the privilege of using their Chromebooks. They've had them taken away from the school because they weren't using it properly. They went to inappropriate websites or did things on it that didn't have anything to do with school. Also, taking care of it, which I know most of you have done a really good job. But taking care of it, like holding it properly, making sure you don't drop it and or break anything on it or shatter the screen. Um, those are things that if you do that enough, then you probably will lose your privilege to have the Chromebook, just because the school will see it as you not being able to take care of it. So make sure that you always try to do your best to take care of it, and also only go and do things on your computer that have to do with your schoolwork. And of course, unless you're using your personal device. Okay, this is an activity. If you guys would like to stop the video now and get a piece of paper, and if you want to complete this on your own, before we go over it, then that would be fine. And then you can start the video back up and I will go over each one of these and we'll decide if each one of these statements is true or false about internet safety. Okay? So again, stop the video and get a piece of paper if you'd like to answer these before I go over them. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this together. So the first one, we're going to say true or false. The first one says, ask your parents' permission before filling out forms or entering contests online. Well, that should be a definite true, right? Definitely, since you guys are underage, anything that you do on the computer, whether it's filling something out or entering contests, or you're going to need your parents' permission, definitely. 2, checking the online profile of someone you meet online will always give you the information, true information about that person. No, I don't think so. Not everybody is probably truthful. First of all, you can't see them face to face, so you don't know if they are who they say they are. And there's always, they can always fib or, tell things on the computer that aren't true. So checking a profile doesn't mean that they're always going to have true information about themselves. So that would be false. Okay, let's look at the third one. Do not open any message attachments from someone you do not know. And this has to do with like emails. And I would say that would be true. It's very important. If you don't recognize the person or the number of someone who's trying to contact you, definitely do not open it. Go to an adult you trust or your parents and tell them, hey, there's somebody who's trying to contact me. I don't know who they are. That way your parents can help you, and they can always block the person if they need to. Number 4, before you post anything online, think about how it will make other people feel. Well, that is definitely true. Because think about the poster that has the word think on it. There's, think before you say something. Well, the same thing should pertain to putting something on the internet. Think before you post. Um, Make sure, is it true? Is it something that, you should post that people, will care about? Is it something that is respectful? Is it worth posting? And if your answer is no to some of those questions, if it's something that's mean or not very nice or not respectful, then you definitely, because you're going to make people feel bad, so you definitely would not want to post it. But before you post it, thinking about how it would make someone feel would be true. Number 5, if your message is unkind or hurtful, do not post it. Well, we just talked about it, so yes, that would be true. If it's unkind or hurtful, there's no reason to post that to hurt somebody's feelings, because, that would make them sad and upset, and that's just not a very kind thing to do or respectful thing to do. Number 6, everything you read on the internet is true. Well, that's a big false, because a lot of people can contribute to the internet, and not everything that's on there is true. That's why a lot of times you need to ask parents or adults you trust to help you if you're looking at a website, to make sure that it's okay for you to be on. Sometimes people have to research and make sure what they're looking at is true. Number 7, when someone sends you a hurtful message online, respond to them right away. That is false. Please do not do that. If somebody sends you a hurtful message and it's probably, and you try to respond to it, it's probably going to cause the problem to become, even a bigger problem. The best thing to do is to talk to an adult you trust or your parents. Let them know that this person sent you a not so nice message, and then they can help you take care of it. If it involves blocking the person, then you may just have to block them. Or maybe it involves talking to the person or the person's parents, and seeing why they sent a hurtful message to you, and try to solve that problem. Okay, number 8, you should never let anyone know your passwords, even your best friend. This is true. The only people that should know your passwords are you, your teacher if you're at school, and your parents if you're at home, so that if you forget, they can help you with it. But you should not be sharing your passwords with anybody else, other than your teachers or your parents. Okay, number 9, you do not need to ask your parents' permission before before meeting an online friend in person. That is a definite false. You have to get your parents' permission when you're doing things online. And definitely, if you're agreeing to meet somebody, and at your age in elementary school, nobody should be agreeing to meet anybody in person. And that would definitely be a no unless your parents know about it and they say it's okay and they're with you. Okay, number 10, when creating a username for a website, never use any personal information. Well, that was on the Rainpot video, right? On the quiz, we talked about strong passwords. We talked about usernames. And remember, the big thing on that was not to use your personal information. So, never use personal information when creating a username. That would be true. Okay, let's look down here. It says circle the information that should always be kept private online. Okay, I'm not going to be able to circle it, but we can say yes or no, okay, about whether it should stay private or not. Home address. What do you think? I would say yes, keep that private. That should be circled, because that is your personal information. It's where you live, and you don't want a stranger knowing where you live. Names of your pets. Well, that probably wouldn't be that big of a deal because if someone knew your pets, knew the names of your pets, I don't think it would be something where, that's not really, I wouldn't say personal information about you, and it's not something that could connect somebody to you. Phone number. Yes, that definitely should be kept private. That is your information, and strangers should not know it. Passwords. Again, that's your private information. Nobody else should know it. You don't want somebody hacking your accounts. So, again, you, your teachers, and your parents should be the only ones who know your passwords. Favorite color. Well, that's another one like names of pets. It's not really something that a person could connect to you if they knew your favorite color. It wouldn't put you in danger or anything like that. Birthday. Well, that's definitely a piece of personal information, right? So that definitely should be kept private online. School name. Now, this is important because a lot of times I tell students not to let strangers know where they go to school because that is still a way that someone could find you if they know where you go to school every day. So that is considered private information and that should be kept, or personal information, and that should be kept private so that no strangers know. And your email address, that would be the same thing, right? It would be a way for somebody to contact you, and you do not want a stranger contacting you. So, again, email address would be considered personal information. So, I would say yes, this should be kept private online. So, whoops. So, let's look again. So, we have home address should be kept private. Names of your pets, that would be okay if someone knew that. Phone number should be kept private. Passwords should be kept private. Favorite color, that would be okay for people to know. Birthday, private or personal information. School name, personal information. And email address, personal information. All right, guys, good job. And there is one more little internet safety video that I'd like to show you guys, and then we will wrap our lesson up.
Love and kisses from. The internet is a great place to do research for school. Share pictures with friends, play video games, or check out the latest trending videos. But it's important to remember that there are billions of people who access the internet, and not everyone has good intentions when doing so. You should think carefully before you share personal information, pictures, or videos on the internet, even if you think it is private. Nothing on the internet is completely private. It's a good rule of thumb not to put up anything that could embarrass you later. If you wouldn't want your grandmother to see it, then don't post it. And don't share private information with people you don't know. Trust your instincts. If someone approaches you online and makes you feel uncomfortable or in danger, stop communication with them immediately. And tell a parent or another trusted adult. It's best not to meet in person someone you've only met online, even if you've been communicating with them for a long time. They may not be who they have told you they are, and it could be dangerous. If you do decide to meet someone from online, it's best to meet them in a public place and to not go alone. Always take a friend along just to be safe, and let someone else know exactly where you are going and who you are going to meet. Bullying someone online, through email, social media, text messaging, or any other website or app is called cyberbullying and is still a form of bullying. It's often better to block, delete, or try to ignore bullying messages than to respond to them. If that doesn't work, getting help from a parent, school counselor, or another trusted adult might be a good idea. That's especially true if the cyberbullying contains threats. Remember to always keep your personal information private. Check your privacy settings to make sure that only your friends can see what you post. And never, ever share your passwords with anyone else. The internet could be a wonderful place to explore. Just remember to stay safe while doing it. Oh, What was it? My dog's birthday. Shoot. Okay, that didn't work. Oh, I know. Last four digits of my cell number. Okay, that wasn't it. That might take a while. Till next time, don't forget to visit me at amaze.org or go to my YouTube channel to watch more. Bye!
Okay, guys, good job. I hope you enjoyed that. That is our lesson for this week and next week for the rest of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot about being safe online. Like I said, our last lesson was more about how to act and behave while you're online and being respectful online. And this week was more about, or this lesson was more about being safe online. And it's really important because I want you guys to stay safe. Definitely do not want anything to happen to you. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this lesson. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to email me. And if I don't talk to any of you before school is out, have a wonderful summer. Be safe. Keep reading. Remember, there's always the public library that you can go to if you don't have a lot of books at home. I really want you guys to keep reading, to keep up those reading skills over the summer. So hopefully you don't fall behind in reading. And I will talk to you soon. Have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.